This is my shearling vest. I designed the base shape of it in my last video. It still isn't anywhere close to being done. It needs a collar and it needs more structure. Before I added anything new, I needed to fix something I overlooked. There was way too much room in the neckline. My original goal was simple. I wanted it to sit high and close to my neck, but it wasn't doing that. So I started here. I went back, tightened the neckline, altered the shape, and I refined the fit until it sat exactly where I wanted it. Once the base felt right, I moved on to the actual collar. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know the exact shape yet. I wanted it tall enough to reach my chin, structured enough to stand on its own, but still flexible enough to fold open naturally. So I drafted 3 options. Option 1, Option 2, and Option 3. Each one changed how the vest felt, not just visually, but functionally. I decided to go with Option 3. I liked the snug fit. It should help retain heat around my neck, have the best protection from the wind and weather, and I think it will layer really nicely under jackets. When I attached this collar, I chose to flip the seam direction. Instead of stitching it the same way as the rest of the vest, I reversed it, so the collar could fold open cleanly without fighting the structure of the material. It's a small detail, but functionally I think it makes a huge difference. At this point, my vest looked complete, but I want it to last a lifetime, so it needs to be tough. Every seam in this vest, it's a potential failure point. Shearling isn't woven, it's skin, and once it tears, there's no real way of fixing it. So I needed a way to reinforce the entire structure. And that's where the leather came in. My idea was to run strips of leather over every major seam, not just as a design choice, but as a structural system. Almost like a skeleton, it's gonna hold everything together. The leather adds a second layer of strength, distributing stress away from those stitches and reducing the chance of tearing under tension. It also seals the seams, helping block wind from pushing through the stitch holes and adding a level of water resistance that the shearling alone doesn't fully provide. It turned the seams from weak points into reinforcement. The armholes were another problem. High movement, constant friction, and a lot of stress over time. Leaving them raw wasn't really an option. So I reinforced the edges, giving them structure and protecting them from wear. And then I added one final layer of protection: rivets. Not everywhere, just the high stress points, areas that take the most strain whenever the vest moves. Rivets mechanically lock two layers together, which means even if the stitching starts to weaken, the structure will hold.